Hello, Sting, and welcome back to another week of Noise News.
Yes, we are so happy to be here with you today.
Let's start off the show today with a story on something very exciting that happened.
What's that, Abby?
Sections for the speech team.
Oh, super! Take it away, team.
Speaking in front of people professionally isn't something many would consider doing as a hobby. With Spectrum, though, we have a wide variety of students who participate in the speech club and go to competitions.
So my main category is extemporaneous reading, but I also did a duo interpretation piece with Rebecca, the other captain. The category I will be going to sections with is extemp reading.
My main category is discussion.
With every competition, more and more is learned that changes their approach.
I think it's always a challenge with some of our students just balancing school time and then other activities.
I guess when I'm feeling that under pressure, I turn to my coach and my teammates, and we did words of affirmations this week, so I just try to think back to those positive comments.
Speech isn't only just considered to gain confidence when speaking amongst people, it also holds value in personal life.
It has definitely pushed me to my limits, and I've found out a lot about myself through the process of speech, like the difference between last year and this year. Last year I was in poetry, which is naturally a more sad category, but this year in extemp reading I have more opportunities to work with humorous pieces and sarcasm, and so it's just I've been able to tune into different aspects of my own personality, and I've just learned a lot about myself.
One of the things coach always says is cover and continue. And so specifically with discussion where you're talking for the entire, well, not the entire hour, but you're talking for an hour, I make a lot of mess ups with names or with pieces of information. Sometimes I just completely blank. And so that's been really important to me. And that's something that I've used even in my daily life.
I think for me, we had a couple of our students perform a duo this year. It's the first time that we've done that. And it's a completely different category in that you have two people that are working together, but they don't actually interact directly. They can't look at each other. And so when they had an opportunity to compete and for the first time memorized and really ready to go, and they made their next and final round, and then ended up winning that round. And that was the one time I got to watch them in competition this year. And it was really a proud coach moment.
Public speaking can be scary, but doing it with the support of others can make it easier.
Just do it. Just do it. It's terrifying at first, but I promise it'll all be worth it in the end, especially in your professional life and your academic life. It makes you a really well-rounded person, and it's definitely worth it.
Do it. Do it. It's a lot of fun. I think there's 13 categories, so there's literally something for everyone, even for people who don't want to do public speaking, because discussion, you don't do public speaking. And then there's also categories that are more theater related. So there's ones that aren't just giving an informative speech or trying to convince your audience to do something.
Speech holds personal and professional value to each competitor, and it's important to share the meaning of speech. This has been Maddie, Megan, and Naomi, Noise News.
Wow, that is so cool.
You know what else happened recently?
What, Kaden?
Prom!
Oh yeah, I think we have a story on that. Over to you, Abby and Kylie.
Getting everything ready for prom can be stressful and a lot of work, but some people seem to like it.
I am planning on getting a really big haircut, which is going to be exciting, as well as just getting ready with my friends and going and taking lots of fun photos. I'm thinking about making my own bouquet this year rather than buying a corsage, just because I'm not going with a date, so I wouldn't have a corsage matching boutonniere situation going on this year, but rather just have some pretty flowers that I can keep and dry afterwards for the memories.
My friends came over for a bit and we just got ready together.
I went over to Ella's house and me and my friends got together and got ready for prom.
Prom can be quite tiring, but people have plans for after.
Sleeping. Because one thing I have learned is that after prom, I go home, I take my makeup off, I take a shower, and I crash because I'm dancing all night. So I'm really looking forward to that night of sleep because I wake up and I feel so refreshed.
We just went home and we all had a sleepover and stay up till like 4 a.m. just watching a movie.
People go to prom for all kinds of different reasons.
I chose to go to prom this year because it was my last year and I figured might as well do it my last year so I don't regret it in the future.
I chose to go to prom this year because I've gone for the last 3 years and it's always super, super fun. It's really fun to just get all dolled up and then go dance with your friends. And I think it's a much more unique experience than homecoming and snow days because it's off campus. So it's a different vibe, it's a different environment, and it's a lot of fun.
Prom is an excellent experience for juniors and seniors, and most people who go have an amazing time. This has been Abby and Mikaylee, Noise News.
Wow, that looks like so much fun. I can't wait till I'm an upperclassman and I can go to prom.
Me too. Now let's jump into our final story about some of the amazing leaders we have here at Spectrum.
Let's do it.
Captains are some of the most important aspects of any team. You may wonder, why would someone want the responsibility of being a player and a leader?
I wanted to be a captain because I was a captain of a middle school team. So I've been a part of the program ever since I joined in 6th grade. And I've always just like really enjoyed it. And it just seems like a natural progression. Like I wanted to help others.
I just wanted to like help like younger players and like really like bring the team together because I feel like bringing the team together is like the most important part because if you don't have chemistry, like you don't have anything on the field.
I like being a leader, you know? I like being able to help other people do good at something that I really enjoy myself.
Captains possess many strong qualities that help lead a team to success.
I think a good captain is someone who reflects well on the whole team and the program as a whole. Someone who stands up for everyone and like shows them how to act, you know? Not just by telling them what to do, but also by showing through example.
A good captain is someone who is really passionate about their team. They want the best for everyone on their team. They are looking to involve people. They have a good relationship with their coach, so everything is able to run smoothly. And they're just like looking to lead and looking to uplift others.
Someone that's like personable. Like if you're like mean, it's not fun to like be like under them, you know, like to be captained by them. If someone is like caring and understanding and really like gets the players and like is there for any questions, I think that's like the best. And like just being there for the team and being able to answer any questions.
Captains assist with all kinds of tasks that improve their team in the moment and down the road.
We figure out stuff, like we figure out team bonding stuff, like we plan a lot of this stuff, and we, at practice, I don't know. On the field, like during games, like we are definitely more vocal. We're like, this is what we have to do, like, and like giving people advice on what they should do during the game.
I'm really involved in like the fundraisers and stuff, and you know, getting other kids involved in that. I'm a big, obviously they look to me, right? So I have to be a voice for that kind of stuff to help our program to keep growing. During practices, I'll be the one of the people who's coaching up the kids, helping them fix their swings, you know, that kind of stuff, making sure that they're getting better and getting the most out of their time.
As a captain, I work closely with Mr. Brent, who's currently our coach. He's in his first year of coaching, and we're super grateful that he's working with us. So we work on planning out events, we work on scheduling them, bringing buzzers, we do packets, we read our packets, have those picked out before practice every day. And we just make sure that everyone is in good spirits, and if there's anything anyone needs, Bryson and I are here to help. I've always been drawn to leadership. I love helping people. I love being a part of like that community and like helping others and like delegating and things like that. It's just something that I've always really liked to do.
Captains have done so much for their teams, and they work hard to invoke success. This has been Colton, AJ, and Hayden.
You know what talking about captains makes me think of?
What?
Some of the amazing sports that are happening here.
Uh-oh.
And that makes me think of sports.
Okay.
Over to you, Hayden.
Welcome back to the sports. Starting on Tuesday, JV Baseball has a game against Pact at home, and Varsity Softball has a game against West Lutheran at home. On Thursday, boys and girls varsity golf has an invitational at Shadowbrook Golf Course. Also on Thursday, varsity softball has a doubleheader against Heritage Christian Academy at Heritage Christian Academy. Also, girls and boys varsity track has an invitational at Princeton High School. To finish off Thursday, JV baseball has a game against Good Shepherd, and varsity baseball has a game against Holy Family Catholic High School. That's all. Back to you guys.
Yes, that was awesome. There are so many exciting events this week.
Yeah, whatever. Now it's my turn to pick the segment, and I pick A&E.
Fine.
With AP exams coming around the corner, it is important to ensure that you are effectively studying. Today, we will be covering some tips from experienced students and teachers about how to effectively study for your exams.
What are some tips for studying?
I would say not to study for hours at a time and take a couple breaks in between, especially in between subjects, or take a snack break or something.
What are some tips you have for studying for AP exams?
I would try to simplify the content. So for AP Bio, I got AP Bio for Dummies, and I used that to study for a couple months, and using FRQ study guides.
Do you have any tips for studying for AP exams?
I took a lot of practice tests until I just had the content down. I think that helps.
Do you have any tips for studying for AP exams?
I would say taking practice tests and trying to simulate the testing environment, so taking it with the right amount of time and just going through a prep book and Quizlets.
What is your advice for studying for tests?
Well, it depends on what the test is. There's a lot of education specialists, so-called, who would indicate that rote memorization is bad, but you don't know what you're talking about till you know what you're talking about. So part of my recommendation is, if you are having trouble remembering things, that you sit down and you write them out, and you write them out repeatedly, like Bart Simpson, until you can see it in your brain when you're awake and when you're asleep. On top of that, the better idea would also be to look through past tests and quizzes and see what you didn't get. What you didn't get, focus on those things. Your tendency, as I've said in the past, will be to gravitate towards those things that you know. You will avoid the things that you don't know. Overcome this by figuring out what you don't know, and then put that on a separate sheet of paper and focus on that.
Thank you, everyone, for your advice. This has been A&E. Now, back to you, Abby and Caden.
Well, that's all the news we have for you for this week.
This has been Abby
And Caden, keeping you
in on the noise.
Abby, is that a caffeinated drink I see?
No,
Abby, this is a safe space.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my god.
Okay. Your eyes roll back in your head.
Yeah, your eyes did roll back.